Hey guys, this is Super Ty. I'm joined with Comic Book Brando.
That's me.
And we're going to talk about all the cool books that are coming out tomorrow, which is the 23rd.
New Comic Book Day.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. We're going to get to it. We're going to go quick, as usual. Please leave a message, comment, tell us what you're really looking forward to. If you have any questions, let us know. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff after the comic, so stick around because we have a lot of big sales coming up.
Things are happening.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off, as usual. Our friend Donny Cates is killing it right now, and this book, Redneck, is super awesome. Basically, redneck vampires that have their own barbecue joint. They just want to be left alone, but there's this town priest who is not happy with any of them. He thinks they're all an abomination, but uh-oh, as you can tell, somebody made him into a vampire also. So enemies are now evenly matched and stuff like that. It also has one of the best creepy new characters I've ever seen called Grandpa. Grandpa is very unsettling, so just think like desiccated corpse with bat wings that's very spooky and creepy and can mind control you and stuff. So, huge fan of this book, and keep it up, Donnie. You're doing great.
Cedric says hello.
Hey, Cedric.
And Angel
Hey,
says,
Angel.
hey, sup, guys?
Hey, Angel.
It's another fine day.
Yeah.
Peter Parker, the spectacular Spider-Man. Alright, so this gal shows up saying she's Peter Parker's sister. What? Not only that, but the Human Torch is hanging around, and there's apparently a secret rogue faction of S.H.I.E.L.D. that is trying to wipe out all superheroes, supervillains, just take them all off the board. Find out more about what's happening there, and if you look closely at the cover, you might be able to guess what villain shows up in this issue.
Didn't Mark Waid's like original graphic novel Spider-Man, didn't that like pose the question that Peter Parker had a sister? He did it with Gabriel Dolludra.
Which one?
It was a Marvel original graphic novel. I think it was called like Family Business or something.
Oh yeah, with Kingpin in it.
Yeah. So I think that's where the sister comes from. My next one is issue number 1 for this new Valiant series called War Mother. She's not a new character. She was showing up a whole lot in the 4001 AD kind of storyline that was happening with Rye. The cool thing about this book is it's very future dystopian. Think if Tank Girl and Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road combined into one character, and she's the leader slash warrior of this little town in the future that's like, you know, the world is completely destroyed except for this town. It's really fun. There's a lot of really cool action in this. I really like the art a whole lot as well. They do some really clean artwork and line work in this. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but you guys should be picking this up. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool covers too. This is Clayton Crane. There's a David Mack one, which is really awesome as well. So I like this.
Your choice of excellent covers. Suicide Squad number 24. So Amanda Waller has this thing going on where she has taken the Suicide Squad up against Batman. She's recaptured Killer Frost from the Justice League. What's the deal, Amanda? You've always got like a hidden agenda, but even your own team has no idea what you're up to. In this issue, we find out exactly what she's up to.
XMen War number 6. This is the last bit of this little story arc called General. The next one's called King. This is straight up, the reason why I like this issue so much is it's very, you know, the intricacies, thank you, intricacies of, you know, backroom dealings of war, you know, where you always just imagine like all these generals just sitting there and at any moment, you know, some assassins can spring up.
With a sweet map and different pieces to indicate the moving factions.
Yeah, that very much happens in this. So there's that cool, you know, behind the scenes war room kind of feel happening in this. And little by little, he's bringing his armor back. He's been very reluctant to use his sentient armor, you know, to help him win the battles and stuff, but every once in a while he just needs to add another piece. So it's pretty cool. I like this whole lot.
Time to armor up.
Yeah.
Secret Empire number 9. The pieces have all fallen together. The heroes are resisting. The shield is down, the dome is down, and everyone's flocking to stop Hydra. However, the Hydra Supreme Ruler, Steve Rogers, has one more trick up his sleeve. And we get to find out what happens here in the penultimate issue of the Mega Marvel crossover.
I always love that word, pentultimate.
I do too.
Yeah.
I use it whenever I can.
Thank you, comics, for teaching me that word.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I never would have gotten that.
Would not have ever known that word.
The Dying and the Dead, number 5. I've been loving this series since it started like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but it's now on issue 5. So I'm really glad that they're picking it back up.
Sing.
Yeah, so this is more of a flashback issue where you follow the Colonel, the main protagonist, and his thoughts of, you know, I gotta finish this. Anything that I start, I have to finish this. And you find out why he gets that resolve. That's the word I was looking for. So it's very much like a flashback kind of issue of him invading Japan during World War II. So some very cool stuff's happening in this. It's one of Hickman's slow burners, you know, but you know, I love that with Hickman because when it really starts going, it's just like so I need to work on my sound effects, but yeah, this book is awesome. The artwork is by Bodenheim, Ryan Bodenheim. They worked together on a book called Red Mask from Mars. It was super awesome as well. So I'm really glad these two are working together again.
The Flash, number 29. In the past, whenever old Barry Allen discovered a new ability that the Speed Force gave him, it was always something pretty cool and something to, you know, put in the old back pocket, keep for a special rainy day.
Yeah.
He sort of gets a new power. He doesn't really like it very much. Also, in Central City, someone is stealing evidence, and that might be leading to a new enemy.
That Flash book has been really good.
It's been crazy good.
Yeah. I was never really a big Flash fan until, you know, recently, and it's been, like, kicking it.
There have been many runs of the Flash that I've loved. I love the Silver Age Flash, like, completely. It's just so much fun to read.
It was so weird.
It's super weird. Of course, the Mark Waid run, the Jeff Johns run. There have been recent runs I've really enjoyed, but this has been pretty excellent.
And that's a Flash fact.
That's a Flash fact. We'll use that joke every week if we can.
Yes, we will. Generation Gone, number 2 by Alish Cote. I think that I asked Mila, and that's how she said it's pronounced.
Works for me.
Alish Cote. So the whole premise of this is, did you ever see Chronicle?
No.
Oh, you never saw Chronicle?
I did.
Okay, so these 3 kids, not kids, they're like, you know, 20-year-olds, but that's kids to me.
Are you explaining Chronicle or the comic?
No, the comic, I'm sorry. So these, you know, young hackers, they discover this code that if you read this code, it unlocks parts of your brain that gives you superpowers, essentially. And as you can tell, one of them finds out that she can fly. Another one finds out that he is essentially impervious to harm, but the third one you don't know yet. So I really dig stories like this of like what would actually happen if superhumans existed in the real world. That's why I like Miracle Man so much, and there was this great book called Class War that did that as well. So I really dig it. It's man, there's a sense of something sinister gonna happen, and I love that. It's like edge of your seat. So
did you ever read Mark Miller's Superior?
I did. I loved Superior. I thought that was great, especially with the little monkey in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got creepy.
Creepy little monkey.
I hope that Netflix makes something out of that.
I certainly could. I'd be very curious to see which of the Miller World
I would like
titles becomes like a Netflix show.
I would like Superior and Nemesis. I think that'd be really cool.
Man, Nemesis.
That's
hard-edged, intense. I mean, I'd tune in. I would watch it, but boy, that would be extremely dark.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Heathen. So, our warrior heroine is looking for her way to Heimdall, the north. No one wants to take her, but she has to get there. So, who might help but some mermaids?
Hey.
However, mermaids are not exactly super nice. They're actually kind of caustic in snarky attitude, and she might have some trouble finding her way there. Beautiful book. Natasha Alterici is really just kind of knocking it out, creating this like fantasy world that we haven't seen before, yet includes elements that we do know, like Freya and Odin and other sort of Norse mythology elements that sort of reinterpreted in here.
Nice.
Beautiful book.
Oh, Nick Malone joined us.
He says, I spent too much money at Austin Books in the past week. How can I spend more? So Nick, after the last episode, asked me if we have any like the original Dungeons and Dragons like pamphlet books.
Yeah.
Outlaw Moon. I said, yes, we do. Let me get some prices for you. And he got some, and then just today, he's like, I want the rest.
Well, thank you, Nick.
Send them off. So, thank you, Nick, once again for thinking of us for your classic D&D needs.
And they're on the way now.
Yeah. The next batch is on his way, and that's apparently a birthday present that his lovely wife BA doesn't know she's giving him.
Oh.
Good job, Nick.
My next book... I'm sorry. My next book is Moonstruck. This is issue number 2. This book's adorable. It's about this bakery in this magical fantasy kind of land, and it's about this werewolf who runs this bakery, and she's fallen in love, and now they're going on their first date, and of course, like every classic first date, there's a third wheel, which is her centaur co-worker.
Oh man.
Bear with me here. And
I've never had a centaur co-worker join me on a date.
So, it's really cute. There's some really cute stuff happening in this book. There's also, they go to a sinister magic show, and something happens that I kind of laughed, and then I thought, oh man, that'd actually be really sad. So, this is a really fun book. I like this a whole lot. It's not my usual kind of reading, and so that means it's good. It stuck with me. I was just like, oh, this is just so great.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
And the spice must flow.
The spice.
The spice.
I will be the Baron Harkonnen of cute spice.
No one wants to be that guy. He's gross.
Yeah, but Sting's your nephew.
Yeah. And other things.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching that movie, it's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
I never caught on to that.
Yep. It's disturbing.
Gross. Harley Quinn, number 26. Harley's birthday was ruined by a group calling themselves the Unconquerable 26. So she, along with her fellow Gotham City Sirens, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman, are going to go conquer the Unconquerable 26 with some mayhem, some bloodshed, and maybe a little bit of fun.
This is a book that is...
Nick says, oh right, this is a Lynch movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Dune, even for its faults, it's one of those movies that it does have some faults, let's be honest here. There's a lot of whispering happening in it. And I can't hear that well. So, but it's one of those movies that no matter what, whenever I'm flipping through channels, it could be in the first 5 minutes or like halfway through or 10 minutes left to go, I will just sit there and finish it until it's done.
I love Dune.
Yeah.
I'll watch any version of it, even the version that David Lynch didn't want his name on.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Dune through and through, and will watch it every time it's on as well.
You know the Mr. Sinus Theater that does Alamo Drafthouse stuff? I went and saw the Dune one of that.
Oh man.
Oh man, it was a hoot. And like one of the guys actually really loves the book Dune, so he's like, this didn't really happen. This is what happens here. And then then this guy's happening. He was trying to defend it as like passionately as possible.
I read the book way back when, and I thought the movie is actually a pretty good adaptation of it. Maybe not dead on, but for the most part, pretty loyal to the original text.
My next one is Shipwreck number 9 by Aftershock Comics. This one, it's been a little bit of a delay happening between these issues, but I will wait for quality. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Warren Ellis.
I've waited for Warren Ellis in the past. I'll wait for
Warren
Ellis.
I'll keep waiting for Warren Ellis. And Phil Hester's artwork in this is spectacular. If you're not familiar with this book, it's about this guy who just wakes up in this weird, barren kind of wasteland that's an amalgamation of a lot of different times. So, like, he'll be walking down Route 66, but then he'll see, the heads from Easter Island on the side of the road. So it's very trippy and dreamlike, and this issue you kind of find a lot more of his backstory happening, as well as somebody's out to get him, and it had one of the most creepy lines I've read in a long time as well. So I'm digging this. If you like Warren Ellis or just anything really weird, this is a book for you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Inhumans! Happy 100th birthday, Jack Kirby. Coming up towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few days actually. This week you can get Inhumans #1 for $1. It's actually the first 2 Inhuman stories from Amazing Adventures #1 and 2.
Nice.
From the 70s, featuring Jack Kirby artwork. And you've got all of these fantastic Inhumans pinup pages.
Yeah,
from
I love
various
those.
sources. For $1. It's like, I mean, there's so much reading in this because it was all text heavy back then.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack also wrote this story too.
Yeah.
There's this. There's
Devil's Dinosaur.
Devil. Is that this week?
Yeah, Devil Dinosaur and Nick Fury.
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. From his first appearance in Strange Tales 135. I assume from the second issue that he's in as well. For $1, each of those. Classic comics. If you ever complain about comics aren't as cool as they used to be, well, now you can put your money where your mouth is. Get some dollar comics. Love the classic stuff.
My next one is Cable #4. This is... Cable's going through time, and he's finding all these future weapons in places they shouldn't be. And now he is in 1908 Russia with, of course...
It's a volatile time.
Yeah, with Grigory Rasputin showing up. And somebody has supplied cyber steeds to the Cossacks, which is pretty interesting. And you finally get to meet the big bad of the story arc. His name's Conquest. I have a theory on who he is, but I could be proven wrong, which I'm totally fine with.
Pulls off his mask and it's Strife, and then he pulls off his mask and it's Cable.
And then X-Man.
It works.
So, and so basically this is all a brawler issue. There's a lot of fighting happening in this, which Cable is great at. The whole point of this is there's a time sword that it's broken up into pieces throughout all time, and both Conquest and Cable are trying to get it. And if you get this time sword, you can literally slice through time and go wherever you want. So
where would you go with the time sword?
Only past, because future hasn't happened yet.
Sure.
Okay, so going into the past, I would say I would like to go to like 900 AD in the United States, or what would be the United States, and see a lot of Native American culture. Or bear with me here, I would like to go to 1940s. No, not 1940s Italy. That's a horrible idea. 1940s New York. I'd like to see what it was like back then.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with Mussolini. My bad.
Good call.
Yeah. What about you?
1950s Las Vegas.
Ooh,
I mean,
that's actually a really good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Good call.
I would love it.
See some crooners.
I'm sure I would see some acts while I was there.
Yeah, but other things as well.
Maybe I would just be on the tables. I don't know. But that to me is like, seeing that before it was a huge touristy thing. Well, I mean, it was still a touristy thing, but like mega zillion dollar touristy thing. Back in gangster days.
Oh, I'd actually go to 1939 and buy a copy of Action Comics #1 and put it in a safety deposit box.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually my time travel answer.
Yeah.
Is to like, just go to 1938. This was always my answer. 1938, like, get a job, buy as many Action Comics 1 as I get a hold of, hang out there for a year, buy as many Detective Comics 27, you know, in May of 1939.
Yeah.
And then come back, sell off all of them but one overtime, and then buy all the other classic stuff I want. Although I would also like to get to stop by 1961 through 63.
Yeah, yeah.
And just load up on the Marvel stuff because it's just all fresh and perfectly mint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're dorks.
Oh, man. I mean, we'd be rich dorks.
Yes, we would. And that's totally fine with me.
Fortune 500 dorks, because then I would go to 1980 and invest in Apple.
Yeah. Damn.
I've gamed the system.
We're totally becoming Biff Tannen, but not with gambling, just with comics.
Yeah, but we would use it for good.
I would use it for good.
Oh, man, I use so much money for good. I'd live comfortably.
Yes, but also some money for good.
All right, so
Shad is with us on this.
Angel says I would go back in time to clinch a pre-order for a SNES Classic.
Angel, you and me both, man. I tried for months. I was so pissed.
Has that come out yet?
Yeah, or no, the NES Classic. That's the one I was trying to do.
I guess they're doing a new one.
Yeah, they're doing it at the Super Nintendo, yeah.
I just have a Super Nintendo. I'll just play that. Shad says I love that plan.
Yeah. You're next.
It's a good plan. Detective 963. Anarchy is in Gotham, and and he's starting something new, something different, and he's letting Stephanie in on some of the plan. Also, Clayface has some concerns. This is a great Gotham book. You get to see a lot of the heroes in addition to a splash of Batman. So if you like the sort of mythos of the town and like all the other heroes and some of the more minor villains, check this out.
Okay, Shad, you're winning comments right now. Dorks with that much money are not called dorks. They are simply called sir.
Correct.
I like that.
Yes, Mr. Gates.
My next one is XMen Gold number 10. I've been loving this series. I'm an X-Men fan through and through since 7 years old to now. So, of course, I'm going to love this book. Because it's a return to form. It's them, fighting bad guys. It's none of that weird, deep, like, let's fight the Inhumans now, let's fight the Avengers. No, they're fighting bad guys, and that's what I like. So, obviously, you can tell who the bad guy is in this issue. So, Colossus, Magic, they're going back to Russia, because they have a mysterious uncle that says, oh, something bad's happening. They get there, and of course, Omega Red happens.
I'm not your uncle, I'm Omega Red. Rip.
I'm Strife.
And I'm also High Five Fight Club. This is a new series from Boombox, a division of Boom Studios. And this is a new creative team I'm not familiar with, but it's like the cool, classic working in a record store. How fun would that be? There's a gal who likes another gal that works there, and there's the badass goth girl, and then there's the girl who knows everything, and they all work for a cool girl. Very girl-friendly book. There's a secret to the store, though. It turns out when a famous rock gal goes missing, they have to go to action. This is pretty cool, beautiful art. I think people will dig it. Give this a try. If anything I said sounded fun to you, or if you like a cool Riot Girl kind of comic.
The next one is Generations #1 Thor. The Mighty Thor and the Unworthy Thor together. So, one thing I really dig about this one is it delves into a lot of Jason Aaron's past Thor stories involving Apocalypse. So, Thor, Odin's son isn't worthy yet. He can barely pick up the hammer, but he's not there yet. And some Norsemen are going to Egypt to start a tiff with some people, and Apocalypse shows up, and
that's where he's from.
And then out of nowhere, the Mighty Thor shows up, and shenanigans happens with lightning and Uru metal.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
busting out some science from...
yeah, that's right. Yeah. One thing I really dig about this is in the last 3 pages, it's setting up stuff for Legacy. So it's now finally starting to make some sense, these one-shots. So
I've been digging them. It's kind of cool seeing like the newer versions, the newer generation of these characters interacting with the classic sort of in their own time.
Yeah. Well, the Jean Grey one was my favorite so far, just because it started off nice and local, and then it just turned like crazy cosmic out of nowhere. And this one is matching up with that.
I posted on Twitter that Wolverine was my favorite, just because I really like the interaction between Laura and Logan.
Yeah.
It seemed really
and,
a lot of heart to it.
And ninja fights.
And ninja fights. Star Wars Dr. Aphra Annual #1. I'm going to say it, this is my favorite Star Wars book. Even though it doesn't have all the characters I grew up with, I really like Dr. Aphra and her crew. This issue focuses mostly on...
Here it comes.
I practiced it. Black Chrysanthemum. Because it's Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, yeah. Like Tauntaun.
I assume that's how it's pronounced. Anyways, he's a badass, enhanced Wookiee, and we get to find out his backstory in this. Plus, it is involved with the current story. After all, she has that artifact she needs to hawk fast. And she needs to find a way to do it. This is a lot of fun. I really love the Star Wars universe, and this is a very welcome addition to that universe.
I like that word hawk also.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, we're just doing great words today.
Just hawking stuff.
My next one is Nightwing, The New Order, #1 of 6. This is a mini-series involving Dick Grayson. So, bear with me, it gets pretty crazy. For some reason, you don't know why, Dick Grayson depowered all the superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
So, and now he's like in charge of Gotham. And so he keeps on finding people that aren't taking their medicine to, you know, depower themselves. Like Dr. Light shows up and he's, you know, flashing, you know, lights and everything.
Flashing.
No, well, with that character. Yeah. So it's really weird seeing Dick Grayson, who's like always been just a straight up stand up guy in all of, you know, DC pretty much throughout, becoming kind of the bad guy. You know, because he's doing it for noble causes, but, you know, he's effectively ruining people's lives.
I knew I was right to not like Dick Grayson.
So, I was kind of hoping there would be, like, some mullet Dick Grayson happening in here, kind of like old Teen Titans style, but, you know.
Now that I rule the world, I can free to wear
He can
my
bring
hair
back the
way
mullet,
I
yeah.
like.
So, I really dug this, actually. I'm also a huge fan of future dystopian stuff, so.
Yeah, reading the solicitation on that, it's like, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to share with you my new favorite title.
This is the best title
Of a book ever. This is a manga, which I'm very picky about the manga I read, but this is one that has propelled itself to the top of my list. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
That is the best
Bam!
title.
Such a good title. It's about a working stiff, just a regular average guy. Not impressive in any way, but he dies protecting his co-workers. So he finds himself reincarnated in a magical fantasy world as a slime. And for those of you into classic fantasy, it's maybe not the most exciting thing to be reincarnated as. Probably the bottom of the barrel, really. But this looks like a really fun book, very enjoyable. I like to delve into manga here and there because I always find like a series probably about every couple of years that I just absolutely love and read every volume of as soon as it comes out. And I'm thinking that this will be mine for this year.
So in D&D, is it a gelatinous cube? Is that the term, the preferred term?
There are various. There's the gelatinous cube, there's the black pudding, there's the yellow ochre. Those are the classic three, but then there are others as well.
Yeah.
Usually they are known for just wanting to consume people or metals or what have you.
Well, I love the little D&D figures that we sell at Outlaw. The gelatinous cube one is like, it looks like an ice cube, but there's like little arms in there and stuff. I thought that was really fun.
There's that one. There's also one that you open up and you can put like a mini in there.
Oh.
And close it up. So whenever, and I've used that in a game where like the poor guy just kept on getting hit by this thing and like ending up in it. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't know that they.
One of my favorite minis is the gelatinous cube that opens up.
My last single issue is Batgirl number 14. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't read a lot of Batgirl, but this story arc is actually pretty intriguing to me. So basically it's half flashback, half modern day, where it's tying all together. It's about, the flashbacks is about, you know, young Batgirl and young Dick Grayson kind of getting to know each other at first. They don't know each other's, you know, backstories or anything, so they're getting to know each other. Barbara is at a high school. It's like her first day at Gotham High, and she discovers, uh-oh, the cheerleading squad is dealing in like hardcore drugs. So undercover works might be happening.
Oh, man.
And then in the modern day time, which is going to try, which I believe is going to connect with the past story, is the Mad Hatter with his Mad Haberdashery lair, which I think is the best name for a lair.
Pretty good. Although, let's give it to the Joker, who in the 60s had a hacienda.
Wow. Okay, so I can't beat that. This was actually really great. I like this a whole lot, so I'm going to be reading this story arc and Batgirl from now on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
From now on, forever.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman Volume 3,
Wonder
The Truth. Wonder Woman has been driven mad by the shaking up of her reality, and she doesn't know what's going on. She's going to find answers, though, in this Greg Rucka written tale. Everyone loves Greg Rucka Wonder Woman. I recommend it. It's very cool. You get to see like characters sort of reimagined or in new light. We get an appearance from Cheetah in this volume.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of things going on, and the question is, does she have the strength to overcome basically the nightmare that her life has become?
Okay. One of my top 10 comics of all time is The Tick.
Spoon!
Yes. My favorite thing, the thing that made me read this forever, was all these ninjas in the story arc, Night of a Million Zillion Ninjas. They dress up like a hedge, which means they put like twigs in their headbands, and they all like start attacking the Tick, and he just screams, "Hedge!" And after that, I was like, okay, I'm in. So this is a reprinting of all the original 12 Ben Edlund story arcs. If you're not familiar with Ben Edlund, you probably are, you just don't know it. Like, he wrote a lot of episodes of Firefly.
He's all over TV.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of episodes of a lot of shows.
And the Tick show that's going to be on Amazon is starting up on August 25th.
Yeah?
Yeah, this Friday. So
I don't know, man. I really like the Patrick Warburton one.
That one was great. Did you see the pilot episode for the Amazon one?
I haven't.
It's actually really good. It's a little darker, but like parts of it are hilarious. And the guy who played what's his name? The guy who played Rorschach,
Jackie Earle Haley.
Jackie Earle Haley. It plays the Terror,
Nice.
the old Terror guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, he does a great job in it. But anyways, this is amazingly great stuff. There's humor. There's dynamic artwork throughout, and it's one of the few series one of the series that got me into like black and white comics, because before I was always like, if it was black and white, I'm not into it. But you really get to delve into some shading in this.
That book was hilarious.
Yeah, so huge fan of this. You should be buying this.
My favorite joke from the previous TV show is they had a new character called Batman Well.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the exact line. It says, "We'll go to my car, the Manuel Mobile."
Yeah. My favorite was they're on a roof arguing, like it's in the first episode, and Arthur's doubting if he wants to be a hero, and Batmanuel and Captain Liberty are fighting, and the Tick just goes, "Oh, I just stepped in gum," and then 30 seconds later he goes, "Who puts gum on a roof?" I lost it.
So good.
Yeah.
I love that show. And the comic.
Yeah.
The New Teen Titans Volume 7. Now, don't just write this off as a Volume 7. It's not a Volume 1. What you need to know is that this is, as you might be able to tell from the cover, the Judas Contract storyline is included in this volume. This is like one of the greatest New Teen Titans stories ever. It's like informed the entire history of that team. We will always keep going back to that Judas Contract storyline as far as like a major point for the story. Brought to you by Marv Wolfman, George Perez. It's like the perfect book from the 1980s. And if you've never read it before, get it. I recommend it.
I kind of have a theme of like post-apocalyptic dystopian things.
You just like the end of the world.
Sometimes.
And you feel fine.
So this is The Few. This is the complete, 1 through 6 issues. So basically, America is divided into haves and have-nots. And this one character named Eden, she's walking around with a baby that has a gas mask, and she's being aided by essentially her enemies. And they're just trying to get through this dystopian wasteland. It's kind of like if you liked The Road. You remember that Cormac McCarthy, The Road, or Mad Max, stuff like that. One thing I'm also a huge fan of is the artwork in this is very, very Jim Mahfood-ish, where it's very scratchy and kinetic. So this isn't a happy ending book, but this is a great book.
Spoilers.
Well, it could be happy for some people. Yeah. So it's awesome.
All right. Sky Doll, Sudra. We're going to continue the tale of Noah here. She's wrestling with what it means to be a human and what, can she be anything besides just a doll? Beautiful artwork, just stunning looking book as it's always been. Sort of like cool heavy metal 70s style sci-fi. You just can't put this down when you pick it up. It's just a gorgeous looking book, and check it out if you haven't yet. I think we should have the previous volumes,
I believe we do,
collected as well. Now Titans put them all out, so you should be able to get them right here.
Nice. So, I'm also talking a lot about X-Men. So
Let's talk about some X-Men.
Let's talk about some X-Men. So this is XMen Blue. This is the first volume. This is a really fun story of the time-traveling X-Men. They're stuck. They can't go home now. So they are part of the Marvel Universe from now on. And they don't have a teacher anymore because Professor X has been gone. They can't go back to the old Professor X, so now Magneto's in charge.
Question.
What?
How the hell do the X-Men exist if they're stuck in the modern day?
So it was taken from the last story arc of the all-new X-Men, the one that happened during Inhumans versus X-Men, they go back in time and they see themselves, like, already back. So they're just, like, now a temporal anomaly. Yeah. So, as X-Men do, you know.
Yeah, all right.
So, anyways, a lot of cool fight scenes in here. A couple of really cool, surprises that I wasn't expecting, because for some reason the Blackbird is alive, and you don't know how. And when you find out, you're like, oh, that's really cool.
Weird.
Some Ultimate Comics characters show up, which is pretty cool. And, of course, my favorite villain duo for a while was Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy, and, hey, they show back up.
I thought you were going to say Fenris. I heard that one.
Ooh, man, Fenris.
Fenris?
Yeah, do you want to know what happened to Fenris?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, you tell me later.
Yeah.
Spoilers. We're like on the internet.
Yeah.
The Dark Horse Book of Horror. They did these sweet, like, 4 books back in the early 2000s that had, like, various creators do, like, chilling tales of ghosts and witchcraft, including the Beasts of Burden debut.
Yeah.
Was in that as well by Evan Dorkin and Jill Thompson. So now we have a great big volume that collects all 4 of those books in a very affordable $20 price point, which is barely over the cost of one of those books.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
And in the Awesome Book way, we always do 10% off.
Yeah.
So it's really like
cheaper.
18 books.
Give it a read. This is cool. We're coming up on some spooky holidays, so you're going to need something to get in the right frame of mind come October.
My last regular thing coming out, of course I have the Sidekick special, which I'll be talking about in a second, is XMen Gold. See, have an X-Men.
Double the X-Men, double the fun.
Yeah. And this is just the first story arc of the X-Men are living in Central Park. They want to, be heroes again, and, classic villains, the Sentinels show up, but they're evolving, and how can that happen?
Oh, yeah.
And if they're evolving, what do they think of other mutations, like, people that are nearsighted? Yeah, bad things. There's also a new Executioner that shows up, and yeah, it's awesome. It's fun. It's great. It's classic X-Men in a now setting.
In a now setting.
Yeah.
Kirby 100. This is a gorgeous book. Once again, celebrating 100 years of Jack Kirby, and this has like 100 creators, each talking about a specific Jack Kirby issue.
Yeah.
Which is crazy and awesome. Just like, this is like all the best people have something to say about Jack Kirby. It just shows the influence, the importance, the chaos and beauty he brought to this medium. And it is today what it is because of him. So give this a read if you're a fan of classic comics. Give this a read if you're a Kirby fan, or if you're just interested in seeing what other comics folks have to say about one of the all-time greats.
My last one is the Sidekick special of the week, as usual, and I couldn't be happier. This is, everybody here, huge fan of the Muppets, and we have this Muppets book called The 4 Seasons, which it was a 4-issue miniseries that, like, basically spring, summer, fall, winter kind of thing. And it's all about just the Muppets going through the time. And one of my favorite story arcs was, does Animal finally get to fall in love?
Aww.
Yeah, with a giant gorilla, which makes total sense. So this is a really awesome book. When who was it? It was Disney Comics. For some reason, I thought it was Boom for a while. But
Yeah,
Disney Comics released this, and it was just fantastic. The artwork's great. Usually $14.99. This is $3.
Oh man,
So tomorrow morning, I am going to Sidekick, and I'm going to buy a copy.
$3 for some Muppet entertainment.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
it's time to light the lights.
That's good.
Start the music. Or play the music. Damn.
Oh, that's close.
Okay, so let's...
I always liked the when the dudes came out. Well, it's time to put on makeup.
Oh yeah, those big guys?
Yeah, always like Sweetums and what have you.
So let's talk about all the big things that are coming up,
Oh,
because...
that's right. I was talking about. I was like, who wrote that? And Dan says
Roger Landridge. Let's talk about all the big things that are coming up, because there's a lot.
So much stuff happening.
40th anniversary Labor Day sale. That is going to be starting in a sort of secret. Well,
Excuse me.
in a sort of secret preview night which will be on Thursday. And then Friday the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to be doing so much stuff at each one of our shops.
So is the Thursday night the 31st?
That is the 31st, yes.
May, June, July, August. Yes. The 31st of August is the preview night.
Yeah.
Now, everyone knows about the sale. It's our biggest of the year. It's really our main one of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we have like a whole list of things that are on sale. But not everyone knows about the Thursday night preview night. Because you're watching this and seeing this, you are privy to this knowledge.
Yep.
You should join us at what time on that Thursday night?
I believe it is... It's not straight up at 7 because we got to get everything ready.
I think we do 8.
Yeah, I think, like 7:45, 8.
8 to 10.
Yeah. We'll just call it like that.
So we do a special preview night, which means the sale starts early for those of you in the know.
Mm-hmm.
You are now in the know. Come in, be amongst the first to take advantage of all the deals, which are all posted on our Facebook page, posted on our website. You'll see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, come in, get an early start.
There's a lot of things to be named in our sale, but let's just say Awesome Books, Guzu Gallery, Outlaw Moon, Games and Toys, and the Sidekick Store are all doing a ton of stuff. Like, for instance, back issues.
Right here in this magical world of back issues.
Did you know we're the only shop in Austin that does back issues? I'm not asking you, I'm asking them.
I'm trying to think if that's true. I think that is true now.
Yeah, I think it's, that's us. And they're all going to be half off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so stoked about that. And we're doing a lot of buy 3 get 1s. We got some surprises coming down.
Lots of markdowns at Guzu and Outlaw Moon.
Mm-hmm. A lot of, like, one thing that's cool over at Sidekick is all the dollar comics are buy 2 for $1, as opposed to, $1 each.
That makes some 50-cent comics.
Yeah.
That's a crazy good deal.
So one thing I usually try to do is, since it's so close to Halloween, I go to the Sidekick store, buy a lot of, like, back issues, and I hand those out instead of candy for Halloween.
That's a way cooler gift than candy.
Yeah.
And I love candy.
I love candy, too.
But comics are way cooler.
So, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
It'll be exhausting for us, but you should come in and take advantage of all those sweet deals.
Yeah. We also have Staple coming up, which is the September 9th and 10th. We are bringing down somebody for that. That is the writer and artist of Heathen.
Let me take that back out.
Which I didn't want to, interrupt you when you were talking about it.
Natasha Alterici.
Yes. So, we're bringing her down. It's going to be super fun. You passed it?
I did. It's right there.
And we're also going to be doing the Staple pre-party, which I'm super stoked about. We also have another art show coming up, which is going to be premiering Friday the 1st.
The Spirit of 77.
Yeah, all the artwork's going to be 1977 inspired.
Because that's when Austin Books started. It's tied in with the 40th anniversary of Austin Books.
Yeah, so, man, we got a lot coming up.
A lot going on. Plus, didn't mention this, the Labor Day weekend sale is the start of our 40 days of 40 sales.
Yeah. Whoosh.
Which, let me give you a tiny bit of a sneak peek. We might be putting something I never put on sale, and that might be Showcase Comics.
Whoa.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
That's your little gift for sticking with us tonight.
So, do you got anything else going on?
Gonna go do some Dungeons and Dragons over at Outlaw Moon after this.
Nice.
And what else we got going on? Working on.
You're grading like a madman.
Grading like a beast. Started listing some stuff on eBay, some classic issues.
Nice.
To kind of like double the opportunity with those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy, we have so many boxes of back issues we've filled up back here. It's just tons of stuff. They've been working diligently just filing it all.
Yeah, the crew's doing great.
It's doing. It's going to be a lot of new stuff back here. So if you think, I've picked clean those bins, you haven't. There's tons of cool stuff back here now.
Yeah. You got anything else?
Working on a magic thing for Outlaw Moon as well.
Cool. If anybody wants, I'm playing a show on this Friday at the Buzz Mill.
Ooh, that's a cool place. I like the Buzz Mill.
Yeah, I'm playing there with my band Valena.
Nice.
I just finished pretty much mastering my other band, Laser Tusk. I'm not going to throw anything out here, but there might be some music happening on the preview night as well. So, just throwing that out there.
There might be some beverages to drink.
Yeah, there might be some beverages, might be some snaps.
Could be fun.
Yeah.
You definitely should be here for the preview.
It's not really preview night, it's a party.
It's a party night.
Yeah.
It's a birthday
where
party.
everything's on sale. So,
Our gift to you.
that's pretty much it for me. Anything else?
That's all I've got on my mind right now.
Cool. Well, you can follow me at SuperTitanton1. You can follow him at
Comic Book Brando.
You can follow both of us at Austin Books and Comics. Can't wait to see you guys for the sale. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And
Cool.
I think now for our videos we might have that on a little bar on the bottom. I asked Patrick if we could do that.
Yeah.
So, maybe
right here.
somewhere down here.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. We'll catch you later. Sail, 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 sail.